Alright, hi out there. I'm going to make some paneer cheese. I usually don't do that. I'm not a cheese maker, but whenever we have leftover milk, I make some, and then we have Indian night. So of course I have to do it on a stir plate. Like, I used to be a home brewer, and so this is a magnetic stir plate. This is the magnetic stir rod. You can see it kind of spins with a magnet, but anyway, you don't want it like that. I'm going to put that in here because it's going to take a while for the milk to come up to a boil, and I want to stir it you have to stir it the whole time, otherwise it might scald the milk. And so this is the easy scientist way to do it. And a lot of stir plates will also have a heater, which this one does too, otherwise it wouldn't do any good, it would just stir it around. But, you know, as it is, I have it at like half of the, maybe I'll turn it up all the way. I have it at, 3/4 of the way up on the heat. It'll probably take at least a half hour before it comes to a boil. But you can kind of get a sense of what it looks like. So we'll come back in a half hour or so. Okay, so we're at about almost an hour. It's almost to a boil. And we're gonna add some lemon juice, which I'll talk about in a second, but we're gonna put it through this cheesecloth, and that's gonna help us separate the curds, which is the solid part, from the whey, and that's what we're gonna make our cheese out of. So I'll show you this. I just wanna show you now because then you'll see that. All right, welcome back. We're at about an hour point, and we're at close to about 90 degrees Celsius. So I'm gonna take the thermometer out. I have here a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. You could use really anything to add acid, and that's going to separate the curds in the whey. You're supposed to turn the heat all the way off, but I want to keep the stir on. The bummer about this is that it's still hot, but you'll see the point. So as soon as I add this, you should see. I'm going to slow that down. Come on, baby. There we go. There we go. Come on, baby. There we go. There we go. And so yeah, the greenish stuff is the whey, and the white solids are the curd. It's been a while, but I think, so there's milk protein called casein, and when you add the lemon juice, it increases the acidity and it makes it precipitate. Okay. So we have our curdled milk. I have my cheesecloth in here inside a strainer. So I'm just gonna pour it through gently and make sure that I make it in. Unfortunately, I did this on purpose so I could rest this on the counter because, oops. The section where the beaker has the liquid running out of it gets really hot, so you could probably use gloves because it's boiling. All right. Ooh, that's hot. Oops. Oops. Yeah. So you sacrifice a little. Try.
It's a profession.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna let it sit there for a sec. I can unclip these. I only use these just to hold it in place. There's probably a better method to do that. So right now this is boiling hot. So the first thing I'm going to do, because I want to squeeze out some of the water, I also want to rinse some of the lemony taste off, which I've never really noticed. But yeah, this is pretty darn hot. So you got to let it run. And then you got to be careful, because just when it feels cool on the outside, if you squeeze it, it's pretty hot on the inside. Okay, so that's good for a rinse. The convenient thing, this is a reusable cheesecloth, and it actually has this thing where I can just hang it here for a little bit so it'll cool, and then I can put it in the fridge and put a weight on it, but it'll drip a little bit. Yeah. So it's been draining for a few minutes, so it's probably cool enough for me to squeeze. I'm gonna try and squeeze a lot of the water liquid out of it. It's still pretty darn hot on the middle, so just be careful. Now all I'm gonna do is kind of tighten this thing up as much as I can, give it a couple squeeze. That could also help squeeze out some extra liquid. You can see there's a lot. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna stick it on this plate and kind of gather this. And then put this on top. And I'm gonna stick it in the fridge for several hours and with a weight on top. And it's gonna push up most of that, the rest of the liquid out. And then in a couple hours we'll have cheese. Try it tomorrow. All right, so now I'm making homemade flatbread. There's a couple already done. There's another one. So that's kind of like a paneer tikka masala, if you will. It's masala sauce and the paneer that we made yesterday. Actually, this has those pickled jalapenos from our garden, and then it's cauliflower and chickpea curry. Those just need milk at the end, and then I just stretch out dough. I have 8 pieces here. That's it. Delicious. Hello out there. So here's the final product. So right here you have paneer that I made from the milk the other day. In kind of this masala sauce. I have rice, I have a cauliflower and chickpea curry that is spiced with pickled jalapenos grown here. And this is my homemade flatbread, made this afternoon. And man, so like when I eat, I like to get a little bit of each, put it all in. I probably got the smallest piece of bread possible. Very spicy in the garam masala kind of way. I think I overdid it a little bit on the curry, but I think for the most part it all tastes pretty good. Yeah, there's a depth of flavor that is really impressive. You know, I simmered the paneer in the sauce for an hour. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I have no idea what else I'm supposed to do. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, smash that like button.